Good morning, everybody. This is Charles with the Exodus Logistics Learning Center, which the Exodus Logistics Learning Center is slowly becoming the number one freight broker training and freight dispatcher training for beginners. For those who know very little, if anything, about the industry, about freight brokering, about dispatching trucks, for the owner operators, the truck drivers, trucking companies, what have you. We move some stuff over here. Good morning, all. Good morning, all. Hello, Takita. How are you? Hello, everyone. Again, this is Charles with the Exodus Logistics Learning Centers, which features the Dispatching 101 training for beginners, as well as the Freight Broker 101 training for beginner. Good morning, sweet Melissa. I'm doing well. Last night we had training, Dispatching 101 training for beginners. We featured our factoring representative from Seven Oaks Factoring. We went over factoring in detail in that lesson last night, so all the members had an overview of what factoring is. I just wanted to give an overview, a little bit of factoring. Took a few notes, wanted to share it with the channel, especially those people who are not members of our Dispatcher 101 ongoing training. So you're on the YouTube channel, but you're not a member of the course, of the ongoing course. Some of you may be, who are on the channel today, may be members of the course, but I will post the homepage to our website for you. So what we do is at the Exodus Logistics Learning Center, ELLC, which features freight brokering and freight dispatch training, we teach you how to make a living in transportation without a CDL, without a truck, right? You can make money in this industry. So, so the questions becomes, well, what is freight brokering? What is dispatching, right? Do I need a CDL? What is a CDL, by the way? CDL is a commercial driver's license. So if you see the truck drivers on the roads out here driving the trucks, they have to have a commercial driver's license in order to move those vehicles. They also have to have an authority, a motor carrier authority to move those vehicles. Well, we teach you at the Exodus Logistics Learning Center, we teach you how to make money in transportation without a CDL, without a truck, right? And you work from home, right? You work from home. You are your own boss. You do not have to punch a clock. You do not have to do what's called a 9-to-5, right? 9-to-5 job. You don't have to get up early in the morning to beat traffic in order to get to an employer that may or may not like you, in order to work with coworkers who may or may not like you. You can work in the comfort of your own home and set your own hours, work at your own pace, make your own money, and live the life that you want to live. So, Takita asks, I'm signing up tomorrow for training, Charles. No matter when we start, everything will be taught in a structured manner, or will you different things as you attend the Zoom? So, I'm assuming you're asking, Takita, on the dispatcher side or on the freight broker side. That's for Takita, Miss Brown. I'm assuming you're asking on the dispatcher. If you are asking on the dispatcher side, we have 4 modules in our Dispatcher 101 ongoing training for beginners. So then yes, we do teach in a structured manner. For those of you who are signed up, you can go to our website in our back office setup page, and you will receive a welcome email. So Charlize Anthony just asked, I signed up last night. I get logged in, or how do I get logged in? I'm assuming. So once you sign up and enroll in the ongoing training, you will receive a welcome email with instructions on you to go to the website. There's a link in that email to go directly to the back office /setup page, and you will sign up with an email that you select either a personal email or a business email for your dispatching company. And then you will set a password for that email and hit sign up. We will get an alert in our back office on our website, and we will approve you for that. Is it immediate access? Yes, it is, Ms. Brown. It is immediate access. Day one, when you signed up, and when you follow the instructions on the welcome email, you will get approved immediately. So yes, immediate access to our back office portal, immediate access to our 7 load boards, immediate access to our ebooks, our glossary, immediate access to our form and document template page that contains the templates for your dispatcher agreement and for your profile, immediate access for the tools and tool and resource page. So yes, everything is immediate access from the moment that you follow the instructions once you receive the welcome email after your enrollment. Okay, so let me put my information here, because LaDonna just made a good point. Good morning, LaDonna. That's my cell number. And you can get a hold of me on the website as well. So just wanted to come in and briefly talk about our class last night. We went over factoring. We had some new students in there, so we went over some of the basics of navigating the website, some of the basics of starting off as a beginner dispatcher with the dispatcher agreement and the profile that you need, the 2 important documents. And then we went over the equipment types that we advise for you to start with, drive-in, flatbed, and reefers. And then we went into some of the concepts of the load boards. So Tommy said, I got a friend that has 4 trucks and would like me to dispatch for his crew. How should I go about easing into this role? You will dispatch. So if your friend has 4 trucks, that means he has a trucking company. You will dispatch under the umbrella, Tommy, of the trucking company. And if I were you, on your dispatcher agreement, I would itemize or put some lines on there for every truck, what their truck and trailer numbers are, and who are the drivers of those trucks, their first and last name, their cell number, and email. Okay, it just makes your job a little bit easier. So, given confidence as a dispatcher by providing in detail the structure of dispatching owner operators. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Shalise Anthony says she did not receive. Check your spam. If you enrolled last night, check your spam. Did you enroll in the ongoing training or the seminar? And in any case, Miss Anthony, check your spam folder for an email, exoduslogisticsllc @yahoo.com, or a name, Charles Mundy. So, and then in your spam folder, it may be in your spam folder. Every enrollment that I got yesterday, I actually replied with the email. But if you, after checking your spam folder, you didn't receive it, just let me know via email or text, and I will get that to you ASAP. Okay. Our trainings on the dispatcher side are 3 days a week, Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern, Saturdays at 12 noon Eastern, and Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern. Our trainings on the freight broker side are Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m. Eastern. So Chris says, why many owner operators need dispatchers out of US? Or I'm understanding the question, Chris. So moving back to South Africa, can I run the business in another country? Yes, you can. I have people in Africa who are dispatching. You have to set up your business structure on U.S. soil, but you can be in another country dispatching for carriers in the United States. So yes, it is possible. You just got to set that up correctly. Okay. With being dispatcher, the more you know, the more you grow. With said, it's just a basics class to teach you what you need to know in one class. It teaches you what you need to know in several classes from a basics perspective, Cassandra. Great question. The purpose of the basics is to give you a foundational overview and understanding of dispatching, and then you take those concepts, and when you scale your company and add more carriers, you will have an overview and a foundational understanding of the process and the workflow of dispatching. And when you grow and scale your business and your ecosystem of your company, you will have a foundational understanding in such a way that it'll make the transition easier for you. Okay, Shalise said ongoing. Okay, so yeah, check your spam, Shalise, and let me know. Okay, Exodus, either Charles Mundy or exoduslogisticsllc at yahoo.com. An email should have came to you. It says, welcome to the Dispatcher 101 training for beginners. The days you just mentioned, are these the only days and times you are available for dispatcher? So no, those are the only days and times I am available for live trainings. The trainings outside of the live trainings, Cassandra, on the dispatching side and the freight broker side, it is an ongoing platform, and you have access to the web portal with all the resources and tools at your disposal to use at your leisure. Though the best times to get a hold of me and the training is through the live. And outside of that, if you need to get a hold of me with something that's going to take a lot of time, like 30 to 60 minutes, I also do paid consultations, 30 and 60-minute phone and 30 and 60-minute Zoom consultations. But outside of the live trainings for freight broker and dispatching, we have a ongoing self-paced learn as you go training portal that you get access to once you enroll. Okay, so the purpose of this one, it was just to give you an overview of what we covered last night. We went into detail about factoring, and we had our representative Monica from Seven Oaks come in and give an overview of factoring, some of her concepts and what they do. They give a 90% advance to the carriers in factoring. So Malik, the consulting on your website. Yes, it is under ELLC services. So if you go to the homepage of the website, www.exodusdispatchingandtraining.com, you'll see a list of headers at the top, home, and then the next one says ELLC services. If you hover your mouse over the ELLC services, you'll see a drop down of other links or pages, one of which says consultations, and then you just click that and then go from there. Okay. So Monica was is one of our official factoring company representatives. She offers services to carriers as well as affiliate services to the dispatchers. And she mentioned that in the training last night, where if you as a dispatcher set up an affiliate relationship with the factoring company, and then you leverage that to get a carrier who does not have factoring for their trucking company and get them approved for Seven Oaks factoring, Seven Oaks will pay you, the dispatcher, at the same time that they pay the carrier when they turn in that invoice. So factoring companies buy the invoices, buy the receivables. They pay up to a 90% advance of the rate. When the carrier turns in certain paperwork, they have to turn in the rate confirmation, a copy of the signed BOL or the POD, in any invoices and any receipts like scale tickets or lumper receipts or anything like that, in order to qualify to get the advance, 90% advance from the factoring company. And the other 10% will be released once the broker pays the factoring company. So, okay. And the factoring company, they will do what's called a notice of assignment. They will assign the payment that the broker normally pays the carrier. Now the broker's going to pay the factoring company. So the factoring company will advance the carrier 90% of what the broker would have paid them of that load. So for example, $5,000, 90% of that is what, $4,500. So if you got a factoring company like Seven Oaks, they would have advanced the carrier once they turn in their necessary approved documents and receivables. They would pay them $4,500 up front, 90%, and then they would keep the other 10% in reserve until the broker pays the factoring company. Then they'll release that minus their 2.25% or whatever their percentage is. So, yeah. So who is Morning from Cali? So the person that says no name, we don't have a name for you, but I guess you want to be called no name. So, so that's the dispatching side. I wanted to go a little bit on the broker side, but I will do that on the broker channel because this is a dispatcher one-on-one training for beginners YouTube channel. If anyone on the channel, we have over 10,000 subscribers, which is amazing, who is interested in wanting to know the basics of independent freight dispatching and who also know very little, if anything, about dispatching and is considering this as a career move or a change of direction from what you are currently doing. Let me give you some stats real quick, some analytics. So the transportation industry, for those of you who don't know, okay, Shauna, no name is Shauna. The transportation industry there's 4 modes of transportation. So rails, the railroads with the trains, the land, sea, and air, right? So we deal mainly with the trucking side over the road, which is the land, the trucking side. So the 4 modes is about over $1 trillion a year in revenue, gross, right? The trucking side alone is over 800 billion, and it may be a little bit more. So if you're trying to penetrate a market, what better market to penetrate or industry to come into as a career move than one that's generating that type of revenue a year gross? So, okay. Is it possible to get a copy of your training from last night with Seven Oaks Factory? Yes. If you are not a member, it is not possible. I no longer hardly post free videos on YouTube anymore, but if you are an enrolled member, all of our trainings are recorded and they are in our back office portal for members only who have access under what's called the training videos library. Okay. If you are a non-member, the only way you would do it would consider enrolling, and then you'll be able to access it once you gain access to our back office portal. So Logistics LLC, I'm not sure if you remember or not, but that's the way. So so again, the trucking side industry is not going anywhere. It is recession proof. It is pandemic proof. So in spite of all of that's going on in today's current state society, as far as Corona and Delta variants and things like that, so you can still make money in the industry. Shalonda said, hello, paid for the 199 class. I want to get into class, but I seem to always miss them. Yeah, we gotta make sure you get in, Shalonda. You gotta let me know. Is there any way to get information on the different courses offered, or is it best to just visit the site? So the different courses offered for the overall, this is for Tina, the different courses that's offered overall for the Exodus Logistics Learning Center is under the Dispatcher One-on-One Training for Beginner side. There is the $99 seminar training or webinar training. Every Saturday at noon, we add the webinar. People who register with the $99 webinar, we add them into one of our 3-day-a-week trainings for the regular students. So that is $99. What you get is a dispatcher starter kit with the dispatcher agreement profile and some training materials. Some of the same documents that you're going to need to recognize and know what they look like, because when you dispatch as a regular dispatcher, you see some common paperwork and some common documents. So it would be good to get those in front of you so you'll be able to recognize what they are and you'll be able to effectively and efficiently dispatch. So that's in the starter kit. Okay. And you get a Zoom link for that Saturday training. The seminars or webinars are every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. So you get your starter kit in an email and a Zoom link, and you log into that. And that's one day, 1 to 2 hours tops. If after the seminar training you decide, hey, I think one day is not enough for me, I want to enroll in the ongoing, right? So after that, you will say, Charles, I want to roll over into the ongoing training. I will deduct or subtract the $99 that you taken from the seminar training from the cost of the ongoing training, which currently is $399. So, and send you an invoice for the difference. And you have an unlimited amount of time to determine if you want to decide to roll over into the ongoing training from the webinar training or the seminar training. You have an unlimited amount of time. There is no, if you don't decide today, then you have to pay the full price of the ongoing training. No, you have an unlimited amount of time to use your $99 credit against that $399 full price charge, okay? So that's number one. Number two is the $199 starter kit, which involves no training. It's just a starter kit for someone who don't need training. They just need some materials to assist them in their already established business. That's all you get is it's more documents and forms in the starter kit. So the $99 and then the $199. And then the third price point and on the dispatcher side is the $399 ongoing training, okay, which involves the whole gamut. It's 7 load boards, it's 3 ebooks, it's a glossary, it's live trainings 3 days a week, which are recorded, it's forms and documents, tools and resources, and you enroll for $399, and then 1 month after your enrollment date, there is a $19.99 monthly subscription to maintain access to the back office portal, all those tools and resources, because we are constantly keeping pace with current trends in the transportation industry from a trucking side, okay? So things are changing, okay? Those are the price points on the dispatching side. Let me make sure. When is the next class for dispatchers? The next class for dispatchers this week will be this Saturday, the 7th of August at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, Shalonda. Tommy says, does the factoring company pays a one-time affiliate fee or ongoing based on carrier revenue? It pays it ongoing based on carrier. They'll pay a one-time fee for you bringing them the carrier and getting them set up. And then they will pay a, let me make sure I get that right. They pay a percentage of the invoice to you. I forget the number, but the structure is a percentage. Okay, so Tommy, what one cute mini for you says, what is the difference between a dispatcher and a freight broker? Good question. That is a good question. What is the difference between a dispatcher and a freight broker? So a freight broker is someone who arranges for the transportation of freight or of cargo or of goods. They have to have a broker authority to do so, which is governed by the FMCSA and DOT. The FMCSA stands for Federal Motor Carriers Safety Administration. DOT stands for Department of Transportation. So there are certain requirements for someone to be legally a freight broker. Number one, they have to have an authority. A broker authority. There's 2 types of authorities for brokers. There is a broker of property and there's a broker of household goods. We are speaking about the broker of property. They have to have a bond, $75,000. It used to be $10,000, but in the Obama administration, they raised that rate from $10,000 to $75,000 with the legislation called MAP-21, MAP-21. Moving ahead for progress in the 21st century. That's what that stands for. It's an acronym, MAP-21. It raised the bond amount from 10 to 75,000. One of the reasons being is because a lot of people were applying because it was so inexpensive, 10,000 to be brokers, but they weren't qualified to be brokers. They weren't behaving as true brokers. So they raised the rates or the limit, if you will, the amount, kind of like to kind of curb a lot of people from trying to sign up. But you have to have a bond. The bond forms you have to get with a bond company, and the bond company will file either a BMC-84 with the FMCSA, which is a surety bond, or they will file a BMC-85, which is a trust fund with the FMCSA. Okay, you, the applicant, on the FMCSA website will file for your broker authority using what's called the OP-1 form on the website. Okay, and so that's number one, and then number two is the bond, and then number three, you need to have a process server or a process agent. So what that is someone who serves legal paperwork. So if you were to have a claim filed against you, then someone can serve paperwork to you, or you need an agent or a representative to be able to handle all the legal aspects of that, all the adjudication processes of those claims and things like that. So the form for that is called a BLC-3, blanket of companies or blanket of coverage. That is also filed on the FMCSA site. So that's number three. Number four, you need a UCR, Unified Carrier Registration. For brokers, it will be 0 to 4 trucks because some brokers are asset-based, others are non-asset-based, like 3PLs, okay, third-party logistics. And then number five, which is optional, but is gradually becoming required, is extra insurance on top of your bond coverage insurance. And by the way, let me circle back to the bond. The purpose of a bond, a $75,000 bond requirement for the broker, is to help the shippers and the carriers to protect them from brokers' irresponsible or unethical behavior. For example, if a broker does not pay a carrier on time or within the days to pay or within the bounds of the terms of the agreement, then a carrier can file a claim against the bond of the broker. And the bond company will come in and investigate that. And if it turns out that the claimant is correct in that claim that they filed, then the bond company pays the claimant or the carrier in this example, and then they go after the broker for their monies. Okay, so all of these. Oh yeah, now back to the other insurance. The other insurance that brokers get are either CCI, contingent cargo, E&O, errors and omissions, or some type of liability coverage, and those are gradually becoming requirements. So all of those things, when they are correctly filed and reviewed by FMCSA, will grant someone an active broker authority. So now the difference between a broker and a dispatcher, the dispatcher requires none of that. None of those things. Dispatchers do not have bonds. They do not need a authority. Everything that I listed for the broker, none of that is required for the dispatcher. The only thing a dispatcher will need is a business license setup, company setup, legal structure like LLC, sole prop, S corp, and an EIN number attached to that business. And then of course you need your back office infrastructure, your computers, everything that you're going to run a business starting out. But none of the requirements that the FMCSA and DOT requires for brokers are required for dispatchers. And that's the difference. Okay. So one cute mini for you. I hope I didn't go in too much detail in answering that question, but that was kind of a long one. Let me see what else. How long will you have access to the load boards after you pay the $399 and an additional $99? So you can maintain access to them monthly for up to a year. I've allotted for about a year. So if you enroll today, this is for Cassandra. If you enroll today, $399, you get instant access once you do your welcome email instructions, and I approve you in the back office access. You'll have access instantly. And then 1 month after your enrollment date, I start the $19.99 monthly subscriptions, and you can keep access monthly for however long you need access monthly. You may say, I only need it for 3 months. I learned it in 3 months. I'm good, Charles. I no longer need access to your portal. I've gotten everything I need to know. I can branch off on my own now and do it on my own, which is the goal, actually. I'm just a springboard, a stepping stone for you guys as dispatching companies to catapult into your own successful businesses. I provide the basics, and you guys take that and run with it. Okay. So it's up to a year monthly. from your initial 1 month after your initial enrollment date, you can stay in it to pay monthly subscriptions for up to, I've allotted a year from your enrollment date, to answer that question. Besides the training, what out-of-pocket expenses is there? Great question, Charlotte Brewer. Well, if you set up any business, you have overhead, right? You have expenses. If you're working from home, you have certain overhead. You have to have a computer, laptop, or desktop, maybe a printer, internet access, phone, things that you need to run a basic business, some software, bookkeeping software, maybe accounting software. So you can kind of itemize what those expenses will be and then come up with your numbers from that point right there, okay? No Name says, thank you, have a wealth of information. Is one of the load boards DAT? Yes, it is a version of DAT. DAT has several flavors. DAT is D-A-T, that is an acronym. It stands for Dial a Truck. The version we have is Trucker's Edge. The only problem with that is, though, we have other load boards that are just as good as DAT, if not better. Our DAT version, Trucker's Edge, is a one-user license, which means only one person can be logged in at a time. So if you try to log in when someone else is logged in, it's going to kick the other person out. Okay, that's the only caveat. And the only reason we use that is to access what's called the DAT directory, because it has features in there that we can use to go after carriers, brokers, and shippers. But the other load boards have the same features that DAT offer on the load board side that is not a one-user license. Any number of people can be logged into it. Okay. Is there a way I can speak with someone about which training I should start with? You can ask right now. So what I recommend when someone says, well, which training should I start with between dispatching and freight brokering? I often say the easiest transition into this industry is on the dispatching side. Why? Because you will be understanding and learning about brokers because you're booking loads for your carriers, and you will understand and learn about the carriers because you are in a dispatcher agreement with your carrier. So you will learn the language of the carrier, equipment types, accessories, all the lingo of the truck drivers, the owner operators, and the brokers, negotiating the rates, carrier packets, rate confirmations, load boards. So you'll be able to understand the language of the broker. So the dispatching is probably the easier entry point to come into this industry under. Okay. And then when you transition into a broker, it'll be an easier transition because you will have a foundational overview of all parties involved in brokering. Okay. I don't know, Alan. Doesn't Bumblebee Dispatch have videos of all of this? I'm not sure what she's doing. I try to stay in my lane when it comes to other dispatch trainers, so I'm not sure. So what does that include? Does that include access to the load board? Yes, Malik, we have access to the load board. Your enrollment and your ongoing training enrollment does include access to the load board. How much more will you make as broker than a dispatcher? Well, it varies. It depends on the effort and the, this question is from last name. How much more will you make as a broker than a dispatcher? I've seen some dispatcher make more than some freight brokers and vice versa. But on average, brokers do make, I'll be honest with you, brokers do make more on average than dispatchers because brokers have access to the actual shipper's freight and they can set their margins. Okay. So I have broker friends who make about 400,000 a year. I have dispatch friends who make about 100 to 150,000 a year on average. Okay. So how many load boards will we have access to? 6 to 7. Amelia Holder. Alan said surety bond, right? So surety bond, you're Alan, you're saying about the when you say surety bond, you're referring to the freight broker side. So a surety bond is one of the bond types that someone who is applying for a brokerage would need to get. It's either the surety bond or the trust fund. The surety bond, the bond company will file with the FMCSA the form that's called the BMC-84. That's for the surety bond. And then for the trust fund, it is the BMC-85. The surety bond is based off of your credit. The trust fund, if you happen to have $75,000 laying around in escrow, you can just pay your whole bond. amount. Okay. Let's see, I'm going through some of the questions. In training, will you show how to market? Of course, we have marketing strategies, different ways to market, promote your business, social media campaigns, flyers. We have people who have marketing expertise in so some of our students are experts in other aspects of the transportation industry or overall business. So we utilize them as well. We are like a family. We try to assist and share and uplift each other. So we're trying to bring back honest and transparent and good dispatching to the industry. So do I really need a fax machine? No, you do not. You can get what's called an eFax account, Darren B. eFax will produce a phone number, and then when someone dials that number on the other end with their phone, it'll come to that phone number, but it will forward to your email. Okay. Mr. Muncie, you have good reviews on every trucking group on Facebook, speaking highly. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. It's not me. I'm just a vessel. I'm just using the talents God gave me and sharing the information with you guys. Unto the whirlwind. Hey, I'm here. I saw your training from 2 to 3 years ago, just getting into the dispatching business. I'm starting as a business and going to reach to become a broker. Congratulations, unto the whirlwind. I wish you the best of luck. And whatever training you decide to go with, hopefully they will give you the best insight into that side of the training that you're deciding with, whether dispatching or broker. Okay. So it's $299 to join. It was $299 for the ongoing training in 2020. In 2021 is $399. Karma, call me Karma, and then $99 thereafter. No, it's not $99 there. So if you go to the website, www.exodusdispatchingandtraining.com, and let me put that back up here. Matter of fact, I'll put the actual link to that specific page that you're asking about. Call me Karma. That way you can see that there. So it's $399 to initially enroll, and in 1 month after the enrollment date, it is $19.99, $20, $20, $19.99 a month. If you want to maintain access to everything that we have in our back office portal, the modules, the load boards, the training videos, the resources, the forms, the document templates, the ebooks, the glossaries, live training 3 days a week. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, right? So, how detailed is the training for dispatch? I will let someone who has gone through the program, who's listening right now, answer that, because I will give a subjective view of it because I'm the one that's training. So I would rather someone who's going through the training give you an objective opinion to answer that question. For Call Me Karma, how detailed is the training for dispatch? So to be fair, because I will be subjective because I'm the trainer. So of course I'm going to speak positive, right? So someone who's gone through the training can give you an objective opinion, that way a third person can say, okay, well, yeah. Okay. Are the load boards just for learning? Or are we actually be able to call? No, these are live load boards. They're for learning as well as using. I've called, like in my past few trainings, and people who are on here who've been in those trainings will tell you, I've called live brokers, and we were trying to, book loads for some of the carriers who were looking for loads for their carriers. So, all right. No Name says, Callie, my friend, just completed dispatch, and she already knows the vocabulary and understand the business well. All right. Good morning. Good morning. People are speaking. Amelia Holder said, thank you for your information. I've been trying to decide between your training and another that's twice as much. I am signing up for yours before the end of this week. Well, I appreciate that. I like to be. Have you guys seen the movie? What's that movie? American Gangster with Denzel Washington. Remember and I don't want to glorify the drug game, but remember the drug he was selling, Blue Magic? I'm like, my training is it has twice the potency for half the price. I'm the blue magic of the industry. So I give you twice the level of training and twice the amount of information for half the cost. So just think of me. I need to use it as a moniker, like a trademark. Twice the training for half the price. The blue magic of dispatching. I need to take that before someone steals it, to be honest with you. How much, let's see, Snorky Play. How much, you guys got some strange names on here too. How much is acceptable to up the load price when negotiating with brokers? So you up the load price, Snorky Play, in accordance to what you charge for your service. So for example, we train to either charge a percentage or a flat rate fee for our services. Flat rate meaning between $400 to $600 a week per carrier, and we usually say around $500. And at a percentage range, we say between 5 to 10%, right, per load that you book for the carrier. So let's say you had a load that paid $5,000 for your carrier, and you called the broker, and now you're trying to negotiate a rate to include your percentage on top of that. So let's say you charge 7% for your broker fee. Well, let's say you charge 10%, right? You're a good dispatcher. You know what you're doing, right? So 10% of $5,000 is how much? Anybody, but particularly Snorky Play, can answer this one. 10% of $5,000 is how much? And I sincerely hope you guys are not breaking out calculators, but 10% of, so Snorky Play said 50. So no, that's not right. So 10% of $5,000 is 500, right? So if you book a load for your carrier at $5,000 and you charge 10%, you're going to make $500 off of that load. So when you call the broker to book that load and then to renegotiate a rate to include your percentage, you are going to ask for the minimum $5,500 because you want to add your percentage, which is $500 in this case, on top of the rate that the broker posted on the load board. Okay. And then that's your starting point of negotiating because you want to include your rate on top of the broker side. But here's a scenario though. What happens if the broker is firm on that $5,000 and they don't budge? So how are you going to work that now? So what you would do is you would go to your carrier and say, hey, I tried to negotiate as always and initially my percentage on top of the broker side. They were firm, they didn't budge. So do you still want this load? And if they say yes or no, they say, yes, I still want the load. Understand. So the key to this is communicate. You always want to communicate with your carrier what you're doing and whether they agree with it or not, because ultimately it's your carrier's decision to take this load and to agree to the terms. Okay. So back to that scenario, you say, okay, the broker said they're firm on 5,000. Do you still want the load? Yeah, I want the load. This is the carrier. I want the load because I'm trying to get back to an area that's close to home, to an area, right? Okay, well, understand, Mr. Broker, my percentage is going to be now, instead of being on top of that 5,000 for 5,500, it's going to deduct from that 5,000 and you're going to get, 4,500. And because I still have to get paid as a dispatcher. Do you still want the load? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm cool with that. So as long as you communicate what you're doing to the carrier so that they can make an informed decision, you never want to surprise them with invoices or things that they did not agree to, nor did they receive by you not communicating that to them. You always keep the lines of communications open with your carriers. Okay, so keep that in mind. Once enrolled in ongoing training, is there an extra fee for you to assist with setting up our websites? I don't set up websites anymore. I no longer have the time. I do have a Wix development team that I can refer you to, but they are more of an advanced setup team. So I don't know if you are at a place where you can afford their price points, but you can at least talk to them and start that conversation. Okay. Let's see. Akua Jill, please, do you referral programs when we refer people? Yes, I do have referral programs on the website, also under ELLC services. If you refer someone and they join and enroll, you will get paid according to the terms of that specific referral price point at that time. And those numbers are in that area. Under ELLC services, it's called referral program or referrals. You click that link and you see under the dispatching price points for referrals, as well as the freight broker price points for referrals. And you have to download that PDF referral form, fill it out, and email it back to me. So I have documentation of, because anybody can say they refer someone, but until I have documentation of who the referrer was and who the referee is, I don't pay, because I'll lose money doing that, giving away so much money to different people, right? So not that I don't trust you, but I'd rather keep a paper trail of it. Okay. I'm scrolling through here. So I already set up my dispatch company. This is Alan. I already set up my dispatch company, and I lost it there. I took some training from another guy, and I won't say his name, but I feel it wasn't very good. I might get on the 99. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. What's the best load boards for dispatchers to use? The top 3 load boards, Gloria Willis, for dispatchers are DAT, Truck Stop, and 123 load boards. Okay. Okay. What is the percentage you should start out charging? The percentage range between 5 and 10%. If you are a beginner, Shalise Anthony, if you are a beginner dispatcher, usually between 5 and 7, and then more intermediate advanced 8 to 10. So most new dispatchers, they meet that number in the middle at 7. So 7 is a good fair number, always. Is there somewhere we can get several load boards on one site and one payment for them instead of paying for different ones? Yes. My portal, if you decide. Are you hiring for dispatchers for you? Not at the moment. I used to have sub dispatchers, Miss B, but not at the moment. Sheila Ashley said, do you offer any brokers training? Of course, I have a freight broker. This is the Dispatcher 101 YouTube channel, but I have a freight broker 101 training on the website as well. Miss Sheila, if you go to the website, you will see the Freight Broker 101 link at the top, and we offer Freight Broker 101 training. As a matter of fact, tomorrow we have a live training tomorrow. Thank you guys for answering. I've been afraid to purchase into other programs and feel comfortable here. Yes. We're very open, transparent, give you as much information as possible. So yes. Which of your learning kits is best for someone starting out in dispatching? And do you give military veterans? I used to give discounts. I'm going to probably bring back a military. I definitely will have a veterans special in the month of November for, I think Veterans Day falls in the month of November. So that will come. So yes, which of your learning kits is best for someone starting out in dispatching? For very beginners, depends on your income affordability, I guess, if you will. The $99 one-day seminar is an excellent high-level way to decide if dispatching is for you, because you just paid $99, but you still get a starter kit and a 2-hour training to decide if you want to decide to roll into the ongoing training for yourself. And if you do, that $99 will be deducted from the ongoing training. So you don't lose anything, right? So let's see. Morning, currently under someone else's authority and paying 20% fee for dispatching. 20%. You're probably paying 20% to run under their authority, which includes dispatching. Took a broker class, but still paperwork is questionable. Will ongoing assistance be available in the program? So if you're speaking about brokering or dispatching young royal creations, it depends on what you're speaking about, but it sounds like you're speaking about brokering a little bit. You said took a broker class, but still the paperwork is questionable. Will ongoing assistance be available? Yes, in the broker class, as well as the dispatching class, we have the necessary paperwork and documents that applies to that particular discipline, whether it's brokering or dispatching. Okay. As a dispatcher, do I need to apply for MC number for my dispatch? No, you do not need an authority to be a dispatcher. I went over this earlier. You may have came in late, Coolie Boy King, but no, you do not need it. You do not need anything. Dispatchers are not governed by the FMCSA or DOT. Okay, the FMCSA, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. You do not need an authority. So all you need is a business license and an EIN attached to your business, and you go from there. Okay, so let me scroll through and make sure I'm touching the points of the questions as I'm speaking to you guys. My husband have recently, this is Cassandra, started his box truck business. I've noticed a lot of companies are only paying $1, maybe or less per mile, and will post the price as firm. No. So if he's looking for box truck loads, I recommend him to subscribe to My Virtual Fleet. Maybe get some Amazon loads starting out. Get a good Amazon score to get higher paying loads. The first 2 weeks with Amazon will suck. I'll be honest with you. The loads will be about $1.50 a mile. But after that, because they're testing you and seeing if you can prove yourself as being an on-time deliverer and things like that, handle paperwork and stuff like that. So, but after that, it will open up the floodgates. But get access to the bid type of load board, which is called My Virtual Fleet. The person name is Samuel Munitz. He will probably set up a Zoom demonstration for you to show you how to use it. Okay, it's about $65 a month, I believe. Okay. And it probably is. So yeah, drivers, the second part of your question, Cassandra, drivers are driving down the prices in the market in the box truck space or any other space. If they're taking lower paying loads, they're driving the rates down. But it is still a carrier's market right now. In the industry, carriers are still controlling the rates. So yeah, Vistaprint does do websites. Let's scroll through here, make sure we got some questions. Do you offer a discount for enrollment into both? I do not at the moment. They are separate price points. I do not at the moment. But what I do offer is if someone is in the ongoing training and want to be a broker, I will deduct the $399 that they pay for the ongoing training from the $599 when they become a broker. And then I will invoice them the difference, which is $200. So if you are already an enrolled member in dispatching, you could just roll into the broking for an extra $200 as opposed to $599. So that's the advantage of being a part of the family. Okay. Do you use Tri-Haul regularly? Is it smart to use that method? Yes, Tri-Haul makes you more money. It is always good to use Tri-Haul. So you have Tri-Haul, you have Line Haul. Line Haul is picking up from one place, one shipper, and straight through to the receiver to deliver. Tri-Haul, you pick up from that one shipper, and you may, let's say Norfolk, Virginia. I'm in Norfolk, Virginia Beach, going down to Atlanta, Georgia, right? That's a line haul. But if I was to do a Tri-Haul, the line haul Norfolk to Atlanta was like $2,300. If I was to do a Tri-Haul from Norfolk to Charleston, South Carolina, and then to Atlanta, paid $3,000. I made an extra $700 on that Tri-Haul as a carrier, right? And of course, as a dispatcher, you make some extra money. So whenever your carrier makes money as a dispatcher, you make money in proportion to that, whatever your flat rate or your percentage is. So the more money your carrier makes, then in proportion, the more money the dispatcher makes. It's just a mathematical fact, right? How much is your dispatcher training? The ongoing, so there's 3 price points. If you go to a lot of you are coming in later, I guess, because some of these questions are repeating. How much is your dispatcher training? The ongoing training is $399 for the single member and $599 for 2 people who want to join at the same time for a $200 savings. We have a $99 one-day webinar seminar training, which is a high-level overview of dispatching. It's not the ongoing training where you get all the bells and whistles, but it is an inexpensive way for you to determine if dispatching is for you. And if it is, you can take that $99 and put it towards the $399. We'll deduct it from it, so you don't lose money. So it's not about the money with us, guys. It's about the the training and the learning and the understanding and to correctly teach in this industry. So the money is there. This is on the trucking side, this is a over $800 billion a year industry. So money can't be the issue, right? We want to just do it right? So thank you. My husband and I will be signing up. Where is the live freight broker training tomorrow? Yeah, so the live freight broker training is, so all the trainings usually are for members only. Sometimes I'll let guests come in, but you have to be a member to attend the live trainings, and they're on Zoom. All of our trainings on Zoom. So the freight broker training will be Tuesdays and Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so let's see. Do you still assist with back office setup for dispatching? Yes, I do. So yes, the best way to catch me with the assistance is in the live trainings, though, right? That is for Monica Wilson. How long do we have to decide after taking the $99 class? So that's a great question. I answered it earlier, but I'll answer it again. If you take a seminar or / webinar training $99 class, you have an unlimited amount of time to decide when you want to roll over. You can roll over next year, but keep in mind, if the price point for the ongoing training changes, it'll be $99 deducted from the current price at that time of the training. Okay? But you have an unlimited amount of time to decide. So tri-haul is only used when there is extra space in the trailer after the first load. No, not necessarily. You can book a tri-haul load starting out, as long as you have to be mindful of the trailer size and the number of pallets that can go into the trailer. Okay. What's included in the back office setup? Basically, all the tools you need to run a business, your desktop, laptop, just the basics, right? What you need: internet access, a phone, laptop or desktop, and some software to book loads, maybe some accounting software for your company. Someone is texting me right now as I'm speaking on this. So yeah, okay. Okay, I'll answer these in a second. All right, so Jay Cannon says, I am in Chesapeake, Virginia. Okay, you're close to me. Where are you, Jay Cannon? Out in the Greenbrier area? I'm actually heading over there in a second. After I have a meeting at 1 in Portsmouth, I'm heading to Chesapeake to the Greenbrier area. Jay Cannon, maybe we can meet up. I'm in Chesapeake, and this is inspiring. I look forward to finally getting rolling in dispatching. Yeah, let me know where you are in Chesapeake. What do you do? Are you trucking? What do you do for a living and stuff like that? Thank you so much. We'll be enrolling. One cute mini for you. Are you also in Chesapeake? So what I might do is I might do another YouTube video for all the people who are close to me in Virginia. Meet up somewhere, just have a meet and greet, and just sit down and chop it up over lunch or something like that, and just talk about the industry. So, who are close to me, I might I have a hotel that I go to in the Greenbrier area, the Hilton Garden Inn out in Greenbrier. I usually use their conference room when I do trainings as well. Yes, near Greenbrier, we'll definitely reach out. I'm from Smithfield. My wife is from Smithfield, and just moved to Portsmouth, and I live in Portsmouth last year. So you're close to me. You're literally we're probably neighbors. One cute mini for you. Yeah, my wife is from Smithfield. I don't know if you know any Wilsons or any Wiggins in the Smithfield area, but my wife is from Smithfield, born and raised, went to the high school, and we live out in the Western Branch area, like Harborview area in North Suffolk, Western Branch, Chesapeake. So what was the app you mentioned again if you don't have a printer? If you don't have it, you can do an e-printer online, or we mentioned about e-fax too, fax machines, Cassandra. So, okay. So we've been on here about an hour. That's good. 64 people are in here, 26 thumbs up. Great, great, great. The YouTube channel is 10,000 plus members. Thank you for your subscribing. And I'm starting recently, the past few videos I've started after our live trainings and for our members, the next day or immediately after that, I usually open up a live YouTube channel and give you guys who are not members, but are members of the YouTube channel, subscribers, an overview of what we went over in the training, just to kind of see and motivate you to see if you are still interested in dispatching. So, or freight brokering on the freight broker channel as well. We have a freight broker channel. Also, we have a Facebook Dispatcher 101 members only group for enrolled members, as well as a Freight Broker 101 members only group on the freight broker side. For you guys who are the dispatchers, let me give you the link to that, because some of you may be members and may not be aware of this. So we will check, right? If you try to enroll or join the Facebook Dispatcher 101 members only group, and you are not enrolled into the training, we cannot let you in, because this is where we give away extra gems and things for our members. Tell us more about operating from different countries regarding taxes. That is a CPA question. My CPA was supposed to have been here last night, but he did not make it. I can reach out to him. So yeah. So for those of you who are interested in a local meet and greet, we can do that probably next week sometime if you want. Just reach out to me as a reminder. Jay Land Cotman, I'm down for that meetup. I'm in Newport News. So you guys are close. So we're like literally so you guys are in the Hampton Roads area. So anyone in the Hampton Roads area, the 7 cities, right? The Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Norfolk, Portsmouth, Suffolk, Hampton, and Newport News, right? Those are the 7 cities. Make sure I got it right. So yeah, we can set up a time to do a meet and greet, probably in the Greenbrier area, because I have a hotel that I have a standing contract or account with for using their conference room. We can go in there and meet and greet, probably cater some lunch there, some Jersey Mike subs or whoever, and just sit down and talk. So Unto the Whirlwind, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. LaDonna is in St. Louis, Missouri. So you're in LaDonna's neck of the woods. Do we need a TMS program, or do you offer that? I offer you, I don't use my TMS system on the dispatching side more so than I use it as a training tool on the broker side. So this is a dispatcher. This is for Alan, right? So this is a dispatcher 101 training for beginners. Starting out as a dispatching company, you will probably not need a TMS system. A TMS system is a transportation management software. Out of the box, the software is designed specifically for brokers and shippers, but you can edit features via the settings out of the box to customize it for dispatching companies. But I do not recommend getting a TMS system until you have scaled your business in such a way that you're going to need to hire sub dispatchers and things like that. So starting out, it's not a good idea. Just use a spreadsheet, something small, because one dispatcher, I say you can handle between 3 to 5 carriers by yourself before you decide that you need to scale your business. If you're going to add more carriers, scale your business and add more employees or sub dispatchers. Okay. So that's what I recommend. And you save yourself an expense by doing that. Okay. So what would you recommend to keep track of drivers and current routes? Well, besides the hard copies of their rate confirmations, a typical spreadsheet, some kind of routing software. So, but you don't normally keep track of their routes. So the brokers, when they're under the current load, the brokers keep track. They'll track them with an app on their phones, a GPS app, like Macro Point or others, For Kites. There's some others out there, several of them out there. I had them written down. They're not with me right now, but the main one, the popular one that drivers use is called Macro Point, right? It is a GPS tracking software for carriers and brokers. They use it. They do a two-way connection so that the brokers can keep track. As long as the carriers turn their locators on their phones. If they do not turn the locators on their phone, if the brokers require the carriers to use those tracking devices while they are under that load and contracted with that broker, and the carrier does not turn their locator on, that breaches the contract and the broker does not have to pay. So you may want to let your carriers know that if you book a load for your carriers and it's required for them to track that freight, because brokers want to keep track of their customers' freight while it's under your carrier's truck. That's just the business. That's just the nature of the business. If you were in that situation and you had a customer say, I need you to keep track of my freight while you have your carriers under that load, you would probably do the same thing. So do you take paid consultations with people who haven't purchased the course yet? Yes, I do. Alexis Reed. I apologize. I'm going to start the course, but getting my chips together. I've already established my EIN LLC. Yes, I do. And I am, I'm thinking about, and I was talking to my wife about it. She probably don't remember, but I'm thinking about once a month or once a quarter, once every 3 months, a particular month in the quarter or once a month, letting someone in for free, right? As a gift, charitable thing, having like a drawing, things like that to allow some people to come in for free. Because I realize that we are still living in hard times and people are having difficult times with finances and things like that. So I understand that. And every now and then I will give people free training, either to come in as a guest or free training overall to join the overall training, the $399 for free and the $19.99 a month. I will suspend their monthly payments for the whole year. So they're literally in it for free. So that's something I probably got to revisit with my wife to decide how we're going to do that, either once a quarter starting off and see how effective that is, and then once a month going forward. So LaDonna says, see y'all, that's even more of a reason to join this man's course. He's so sweet. Thank you, LaDonna. Do you need an MC to acquire a subscription to the load board? Yes, you do, MC or DOT, because these are load boards that are used by shippers, brokers, or motor carriers. So yes, part of the requirements to pay for the subscription for the load boards is to have an MC or DOT number, mostly MC. MC stands for motor carrier. Okay, DOT stands for Department of Transportation. So, all right. So I've passed an hour mark. I didn't anticipate being on here an hour. I just wanted to talk about, I wanted to give a general overview of the dispatching and freight brokering from an Exodus Logistics Learning Center's perspective, but I forgot that I'm actually on the Dispatcher 101 Training for Beginners YouTube channel, which is to 10,000 subscribers. So, and that's weird. I got 10,000 over. I didn't even track this and did any analytics or anything like that as far as that. So it's fine, but to God be the glory, right? So can you use the carrier's number, or do you have to have one yourself as a dispatcher? No, as far as I'm assuming you're asking as about the subscription to the load board unto the Whirlwind. You use, or you get your carrier's permission to use their MC number when you are paying for a subscription to a load board. So that's what I encourage you guys to eventually do. So you come into this training and utilize our load boards as much as you can. And then once you get a carrier, see if they will allow you to use their MC number. And I'm sure they will, because you're paying for a load board to help them get better paying loads. So why would they not allow you to use 6 digits to plug into a load board to pay for a subscription, right? Good morning, Tim. So yes, how do you offer, do you offer payment plans? I used to offer payment plans, Sandra, but I got tired of chasing money. So I said, because money's fast, it runs faster than me, and I'm a big guy. So chasing money was kind of tiring, exhausting. So it's a one-time payment. I may institute something later on, but there was too many cases where it got overwhelming chasing money. So, okay. Program is $399 onto the wing. Yes, ma'am. What happens if carrier don't pay for your services after the job is done? You hunt them down and you do bodily harm to them. No, but Snorky, there was, when I was dispatching back in 2015, 2016, there was only one case where I had a carrier that didn't pay. And I basically just chalked it up as a loss, didn't dispatch for them anymore. And you do have something in your back pocket that you can file a claim against that carrier's MC authority, because remember, you and that carrier have a contract. The dispatcher agreement is an agreement between you and the carrier. It's a contract, if you will, that you provide this service and the carrier pays you for that, and the carrier agrees to pay you for the service. So by not paying, they breached the contract. So you have recourse to go after them, of course, right? And when you file a claim against a motor carrier, the FMCSA investigates that. And during the investigation, the MC is not active. They cannot move that truck. So you tell the carrier, like, look, do you really want to do this over $150, $200, whatever the amount of the load is? Is it really worth you not moving your truck? Then I thought, you know what? This person may have a family, they may have kids, they may have a mouth to feed. So I put that wild card, if you will, in my back pocket, but I let them know that I can use it, but I don't want to use it because I don't want to, harm your family because you don't want to pay me. I just won't deal with you anymore, So that's how I do it. Anyone that is debating based on detailed information, there are plenty of Exodus one-on-one dispatch training videos on YouTube. Watch and listen, and then they are detailed. Yes, they are. I have over 155 plus videos on YouTube. I've stopped putting them up there for free since I think October or November of last year. All my videos now since that point are in our back office for students only. So there's so much new stuff that you may not even realize. So please, do we really need a website and fax as start? No, you do not. Where you're looking to save. Yes, you don't have to start out with a website. No, I didn't start out with a website when I was dispatching. No, you don't. But it just looks more professional later on down the line as a company, as a business. But starting off, you do not need it's not a requirement to have a website. It looks more professional to have one, but it's not a requirement. Who was that? Jill, Akua Jill. So yes. Let's see. Question. My husband has his own authority as a carrier. Okay, this is tax services. I want to get my own authority as a broker and dispatch other carriers also. Is it better to separate authorities? Yes, it is. That is correct. It would be better. Now you can be an asset-based brokerage and have that trucking company under the brokerage, but it would be better to have them separate entities. And you can still broker your freight to your husband's trucking company. That'd be even better as a separate entity. So yes, tax services. I really do enjoy your teaching. Thank you very much, Sandra. Charles, what does IFTA mean? IFTA is an international fuel tax agreement. So for every state that you drive, for every state that the carrier moves freight in, there are certain taxes for fuel that they get in that state. So if you're traveling through Georgia and you get fuel in Georgia, there's a certain fuel tax for that state. If you're in Florida and you get fuel in Florida as a carrier, there's a certain fuel tax in that state. So IFTA stands for the International Fuel Tax Agreement, right? And it deals with fuel different tax rates for the price of fuel in specific states that the carrier runs through, okay? Do you need to have PDF app? Stank Hollywood. You guys got some crazy names. Stank Hollywood, a PDF app for what exactly? If you can answer that, I can probably better serve you in my response. Do you need to have, let's see, Bahrain Jai, I guess, Njai. Hi, my worry is getting customers after training. How do we go about getting customers? We train you not to get customers only after training, but we train you to get customers during training. Customers meaning the truck drivers, the owner operators, the carriers, people with their own MC and DOT, truck and trailer. We have methods visiting truck stops, cold calls, text campaigns, email campaigns, social media, like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, things of that nature. So yes. Okay. So I can wind this down, guys. I don't want to be on here too long. I have a 1:00 meeting, and I'm a married man, so my wife got me doing laundry while she's gone. So yes, you do, in many ways too. So yeah. So again, if you guys are interested, we have over 10,000 subscribers in this YouTube channel. I have about 800 members for the year 2021 alone in the ongoing training. So 10,000. So can you imagine if I had about 5,000 members in the training? That'd be nice. Training people. I would have to travel to each city to train you guys live personally, which will be worth it. I'll drive and get a hotel and we'll have a training like that. Yeah. So if I would get about 20% of that, which I'm approaching 20% of enrolled members of the 10,000, 20% was at 2,000. No, I'm not. I'm only at 800. I need another 1,200 to go. So, but reach out to me, guys. When we'll do a live training. I do my live trainings, Tim, Wednesdays, and they're for members only. You have to be enrolled in order to participate in the live trainings. Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturdays at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, and Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All of our live trainings are recorded, okay, and they are in our training videos library in our back office portal. I never sample melodies said, can I broker while living overseas? Can I later add trucks to a company that begins as a brokerage? Yes, you can. Yes, and yes to both of those. Yes, you can. I would love to have you here in Arizona. I probably will come out to Arizona. Where are you? Tempe, Tucson, Phoenix, tax services. I know it's dry out there as far as the air and humid and stuff, but so yeah, Tennessee, same. Come to Arizona, Tempe, Tucson, or Phoenix, or some small town. Phoenix, okay, that's fine. Yeah, you guys were almost there in the championship, almost, not quite, but so yeah, near the Grand Canyon. Okay, great. So let me put my phone number for those who came in a little bit late. There, and my email. And I will put the homepage to the website for you guys to navigate that as well. Okay. Just sharing that information with you before I get off here. Just wanted to reach out. So we are the Exodus Logistics Learning Center, ELLC. If you see the hat, ELLC. So I'm doing my Hove impersonation right now, putting it down there. I do the Hove impersonation, ELLC. So we're doing that. And ELLC stands for Exodus Logistics Learning Center. And it features the Dispatcher 101 training for beginners, Freight Broker 101 training for beginners. Okay. So, and I put my contact information in there. So this is going to be public, so you guys can watch the replay of this over and over again. It's an hour and 18, going on an hour 20 minutes right now. So, right, and this is for the YouTube subscriber. I basically wanted to come on and speak about the last night's dispatcher training with our in-house, if you will, factoring person at Seven Oaks Factory. Her name is Monica. So, okay. Do we need 2 monitors for computer setup? You don't, but it would be nice to have them, but you can use just 1 monitor. You should be fine. So thank you, Tiles Staten, for your comments. I appreciate that. I answered No Name's most of her questions. I wanted to answer all of them. What question did I not answer, No Name? Thank you for the live. This was great. and answered most of my questions. Man, I messed up then. If I didn't answer all the questions, that's not good. So, but I left my contact information there, cell number. This is my cell number. It's charging right now because I get a lot of calls and it's cracked and everything, old phone. I'm Android. I don't believe in Apple products. So, and I left my email and website. Okay. So several ways to get a hold of me. If you're interested in questions, I do consultations out for non-members as well as members. So you can set up that as well. Okay. All right, guys. Look, I'm getting a call now from Chicago. So this has been buzzing all day. I'll let them go to text. So if there's not anything else, in an hour 20, that should be a fair amount of time. I do my trainings for 2 hours. So I would have just had a training on here for live training for people who are not. That's what I might do on the YouTube channel. I may start doing dispatcher trainings for non-members in order to motivate you guys to become members, so, but we'll see. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, Jeff. So I will see you guys probably Saturday or Sunday. I might do another live. I'm going to try to do lives as I do the trainings to kind of share with you guys what we do in our trainings to kind of motivate you to come into join our family. Join the family. It's a good family. So join the family. Looking forward to you guys joining the family. All right, guys. Salute to everybody. God bless. Be safe out there. Stay safe. Love your families.